These scenes always get attention, that something big is going on. It was enough to close Spanish Fork's Main Street early Saturday morning and direct people to where they had to go.
We're heading right down those stairs.
But instead of being something to worry about,
Hello, welcome in.
everyone who showed up at the Spanish Fork Library was excited.
What are you going to miss about the old library?
You see, the old library permanently closed yesterday, and today help was needed to move all the books to the new library.
It's a lot of books.
Which is why Main Street was closed.
This is very cool that they're doing this.
The new library is right across the street from the old one.
That's cool.
And the Reagan family wanted to be a part of the big line of people moving those books.
You won't ever get to do this again.
For them, it's a way to give back.
We homeschool, and so the library is a huge resource for us. We get to come and check out books for fun, but we also get to come and check out books that we use for school.
The library workers
Thank you for coming and helping us today.
love the help.
You're so cute.
In fact, so many people volunteered, Robin Brierly and other library workers had to change job assignments to get books on shelves as quickly as possible.
I was standing there playing Vanna White. And then we're like, this is really backed up here. We got to do something else. So, yeah.
Kids can look up who Vanna White is when the new library opens, but it also shows those who live here love their library. And it was nice to be a part of history where so much history is already kept.
They'll remember, yeah. They're all old enough, they'll remember it and remember the time that they walked books across Main Street.
The official grand opening of this new library is on April 29th. There will be a ribbon cutting and a grand opening ceremony. A lot of people who are here today say they will be back for that simply because after everything they did in carrying books across the street, they say they feel a special connection to this building. In Spanish Fork, Alex Cabrero, KSL 5 News.
As soon as a page goes out, the rescuers come in and the strategizing begins.
Yeah, I've got 4 members headed that way.
Whether it's a UTV rollover 2 hours away deep down a trail or
Where's sand was? Sand wash is way upstream.
a rafter deep down the Green River who can't keep going.
We're thinking he's right down here.
Grand County Search and Rescue members like husband and wife team John Marshall and Melissa Nerone
Oh, I see. Threes Canyon.
will head out to any remote location.
We'll sometimes have 2, 3, or even 4 calls happening simultaneously.
However they can get there, whoever else can drop everything and go.
When one of those calls comes in, Grand County Search and Rescue has 30 to 40 people potentially ready to respond and head out into the backcountry.
They get called to all kinds of intense situations.
Avalanches, hunting accidents, rock slides. We have the Colorado River with whitewater rafting, kayaking, canoeing, swimming accidents. People that get swept out of a boat and washed down river. We're going to be the ones that go find them. We have climbing accidents. We have base jumpers. We have the national parks that we throw a lot of support to.
Covering 3,600 square miles in the county, Grand County Search and Rescue responded to 134 calls last year, rescued 120 people, logging more than 3,000 hours, making them the second busiest team in Utah in 2022, behind Wasatch County, only by 1 call. Those stats don't include all the training hours, from making sure they know how to navigate the territory
Now there's going to be that little fork ahead. I don't know if you've gone that way.
to building up the skills they need to make safe, successful rescues.
We have people that are really strong rock climbers. We have people that know the river like the back of their hands. We have others that know every bike trail in Moab, others that know every off-road trail.
While members like John do this for the love of the outdoors and helping people.
You know that the efforts and the decisions that you made saved that life on that person.
Others like Carly Webster
I am on the technical rope rescue team.
join the team because of a personal experience.
I was climbing up the fin and just slipped on a bad patch of ice and fell, and I fractured my skull. So I had a pretty good concussion, and after that I really felt a lot more drawn to finding out what the team was about and being part of an organization, you know, that has a positive impact on locals and visitors.
Along with that passion comes a dedication to respond anytime, day or night, including holidays and weekends. The weekend we rode along was unusually quiet. The couple of calls for help that came in didn't require any full-on rescues by the team.
All right, so we're pretty much confirmed. It's this 3.
A rafter on the Green River was out of their jurisdiction.
Clearly quite a few miles into carbon.
And those involved in an ATV rollover made it off the trail on their own before search and rescue arrived.
It looks like they're just off the main road. He'll be standing there waiting.
Still, with Melissa at Incident Command directing the on-the-ground crew, including her husband, John.
It's on the ground.
Copy that, helicopter on the ground.
The team stayed until the person was airlifted to the hospital, working late into the night.
The helicopter has lifted and we're buttoning up here and going to be heading back shortly.
Ready to do it all again.
Copy that, thank you.
Whenever the next call comes in. In Grand County, Lauren Steinbrecher, KSL 5 News.
This is the moment one of 2 Draper homes slid off the ridge overnight.
What?
Neighbors also capturing the second home collapsing after the foundation gave way.
They heard sounds from the homes, like kind of cracking and popping sounds, so they called 911.
And this morning, we're getting a look at the aftermath. The home's debris falling hundreds of feet down the mountainside, now blocking a nearby trail.
Looking at this now, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Carol and Eric Camrat moved into the new home at the end of 2021, but less than a year later, were forced to evacuate.
We had seen it start to kind of cave in on itself and lean back.
The family is now in a rental, also still paying for the mortgage for this home. They've been working with the builder, Edge Homes, to resolve the issue.
And he kept saying, the retaining walls. It's the retaining walls that need to be fixed. Fixing the house won't do anything without fixing the retaining walls, and that wasn't ever seriously addressed.
Draper City says their engineers are on scene trying to figure out what exactly caused the slide. Fill material that wasn't compacted correctly, the recent moisture, or if a combination of issues is to blame.
We've asked Edge Homes to send out their engineers who did the project to help us in identifying what some of these issues could be and how extensive they are.
It's a feeling I've never felt before. Obviously shock.
Regardless, nothing will bring back the Camrats' forever home. They're just focused on moving forward.
I'm just feeling a lot of grief, remorse of the things lost, and hope. Now that it's over, we can move forward and find another dream.
The sun's gonna come out in a minute.
No matter how much time you spend planning for an event,
we need to get the pictures on easels.
The last hour always seems to be in a rush.
Yes, if you want to help open those.
For this 5K being run at Lakeside Park in Orem, though,
chop chop.
Megan Roberts
Just do these. So have these separate.
only had 2 days to put it all together.
I think we finally put it on Instagram Thursday morning.
There are some things you just can't plan for.
I feel like there's so much bad and horrible things talked about these days, and I wanted to bring love and light and happiness.
And boy, could this community use some support.
Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father.
After 17-year-old Sienna Schoenrock was hit and killed by a car earlier this week while walking nearby. This 5K was not only to honor and remember her, but also her little sister, Ella, who loved running with Sienna.
We ran a 5K last weekend, and we were gonna run one together this weekend, and I was still gonna run it.
No way was this community going to let Ella run it alone.
I thought it was something I could do to just kind of support them and support the family.
At least 300 others felt the same way, running or walking, fast or slow. It wasn't so much who won as it was just being here.
High five.
Sienna's parents also did the 5K, still humbled by all the support they've been getting this week.
I don't even have words. Like, I don't have words at all, but I'm at the same time, I don't know, it's almost like I wasn't surprised because the people in our life have been so amazing.
The biggest cheers were for when they finished.
I don't run, and that was the only thing I could think the whole time was I didn't want to stop for Sienna.
For a young woman who loved bringing people together,
She was so sweet. She had such a kind personality.
Sienna would have loved to have seen this.
She's so proud of all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Especially because for as busy as it was at the beginning of this race, no one was in a rush to leave.
Seriously, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Just a few hours after this 5K was Sienna's funeral. Another opportunity for family and friends to share the stories about her that made Sienna so special. But this certainly isn't goodbye to all the people who came here to the 5K. The family says they are planning on having this event every single year. In Orem, Alex Cabrera, KSL 5 News. There are all sorts of off-road groups in Utah.
This is me down in Moab.
That can't wait for the weekends.
I want to get the boys together. Everybody would do it.
Sean Henderson loves his Ford Bronco group.
Thanks for coming out, man.
But today's adventure he helped to organize might have been his most exciting yet.
We didn't know if 5 were going to show up. We didn't know if 100 were going to show up. We had no idea.
They never even had to leave the pavement.
This is going to be so cool.
This trip wasn't for them, though. It was for a young woman who might not have many trips left.
I can't even imagine going through it. So obviously everybody's heart goes out to the family and this girl.
So when word spread in the off-road community that the young girl loves Ford Broncos,
Every time I see one, I get excited.
well, she had no idea what was about to happen outside of her American Fork home.
When we came out, I saw 2 Broncos, and I was like, did you see that?
You see, 17-year-old Samantha Corey is stuck with a type of cancer not even a Bronco can pull her out of. But one by one, with engines revving and horns blaring, this Bronco parade gave her a few moments where that awful thing spreading inside of her stomach couldn't even compare to what her eyes were seeing outside.
I feel like I'm in Disneyland again, and I love Disneyland.
If only this much excitement could cure it all.
When it relapsed in May, they said they hope to be able to give her a year. So she's a senior. So our goal was maybe to get her to graduate.
In all, this parade lasted maybe 20 minutes.
To make her smile from ear to ear was awesome.
But for Samantha,
I can't believe that just happened. You knew about this the whole time.
and whatever precious time she has left,
I'm so happy right now.
those minutes meant everything.
They went way out of their way. Like, they gave up their Saturday morning to come just drive in their car and say hi.
Now, the family says they can't thank everyone enough for coming out today. As for Samantha, the family says they understand she probably doesn't have much time left, which makes days like today all that much more special. In American Fork, Alex Cabrera, KSL 5 News.